Disconnect the washer from the wall outlet. Remove the front panel. Remove the top panel screws. Disconnect the door switch and remove the top panel. Remove the controls panel and let it hang behind the machine by the wires. Remove these 5 screws on the controls panel bracket. Put 2 screws back to hold the headboard in place. Lift the bracket and put it behind the machine and let it hang. Disconnect the 4 damping straps from the drum side. Screw back in the screws so you won't lose them. Remove the agitator and the agitator coupler. This is the way you release the top cover tabs using a spoon. And this is the way you lock them in place. Just push down on them. Mark the drum and the top cover with a magic marker before removing the top cover. Release the tabs all around the drum and remove the top cover. To remove the top, you will need a tool like this, part number TB123A. This is a left-handed thread. You will need to turn it clockwise to remove the hub nut. After removing the hub nut, remove the drum. To remove the split ring, use a screwdriver to spread it a little bit to loosen it up and remove it. Then remove the washer hub. Now you can use a screwdriver to remove the bad top seal or water seal. This seal is supposed to stop the water from leaking from between the transmission post and the tank. After replacing the transmission, you should install a new top seal. Use sandpaper to clean the transmission post area where the top seal will be installed. You need to make sure that it's really clean. Put some grease on the transmission post. Put some grease on the top seal and install it. Make sure that the seal is seated properly or the washer could leak water. Install the washer hub and the split ring. Grab the spin drum and set it inside of the tank. Install the hub nut. Remember that this nut has left-handed threads. Use the TB123A wrench to tighten the hub nut. Check the top cover seal. If it's good, leave it alone. If it's bad, remove it. And install a new one. Use the marks you made before to align the top cover. Then push until all the tabs snap in place. Install the agitator coupler and the agitator. Install the 4 damper straps. Install this panel and the holding screws. Install the controls panel and the pressure switch hose. Set the top panel on top of the washer and connect the door switch. Then install the top panel. Install the front panel and you're done replacing. Before you could remove the transmission, you will have to remove the tank with the transmission attached to it. Start by removing the wires on the motor. Remove the wires on the pump. Move the wires out of the way. Remove the tub to pump hose at the tub. This is the way that you remove and install the top part of the rod and spring assembly. And this is the way you do the bottom part. Now that you know how to remove them, let's remove the one on the right first. Then the one on the left. And let the drum hang. Disconnect the ones on the back from the drum side only. Grab the tank with the transmission and the motor still attached to it and take it right out. Just be careful you don't break the tank. After you have replaced the transmission, grab the tank with the transmission and the motor on it. Nice and easy. Make sure you don't break the tank and set it in place. This is a little heavy because you're lifting the tank, motor, and transmission all at the same time. Install the rear rudder and spring assemblies first. Then install the front ones. Now all you have to do is connect the tub to pump hose, the pump wires, and the motor wires. That was how to remove and install the tank. Let me show you how to remove and install the transmission. Use a coat hanger wire to secure the transmission pulley in place. Like this. Use a 3/4 inch socket wrench to remove the holding nut. Lift the pulley and the belt and let them hang on the wire. Remove the 4 screws that holds the transmission to the bracket. Remove the 4 screws that holds the tank to the bracket. Now you can remove the bracket and the transmission from the tank. Make sure that this washer stays in place between the transmission and the tank bearing. Lubricate the bearing with bearing grease. Set the new transmission in place and set the bracket in place. Make sure that the motor is above that metal plate. Align the transmission holes with the bracket and install the holding screws. Install the transmission pulley in place. And tighten the holding nut. See how the wire holds the transmission pulley in place while you tighten it? Use a pair of wire cutters and cut the coat hanger wire and remove it. Place the belt on the clutch pulley, then on the transmission pulley and start turning until the belt falls in place. Now you're ready to install the tank back into the washer.